Hey everyone, and welcome back to Victoria 2 as the Roman Empire. And in the last episode, we were at war with Brunswick after they declared a war on Belgium. And we, of course, defended our allies and had to break our alliance with Brunswick. I finished off this war. We basically defeated all of their troops, and I simply proceeded to occupy their lands fully. I wasn't really able to make any territorial concessions. I could have given Saxony to Poland, but that would have looked horrible, and also it may have made Poland too powerful, and I don't want any new great powers. The great powers we have right now are fine, because I kind of have control. I don't want, anyone else necessarily becoming a great power right now, because that would, once again, kind of weaken or destroy the balance that we have. Now, Brunswick, our longtime ally, has, after the war, fallen to fascists that are now ruling that country, which is kind of interesting. So we basically had every single faction in control of a great power. I think, except for the anarcho-liberals, I think they've never been in charge of a great power. But reactionaries have ruled our empire. We've got the communists were in Castile and Germany, although both of them have been deposed and are now democracies. But yeah, you can see socialists ruling, conservatives obviously in our realm. We've got, liberals. We have, liberals actually quite often. Now, as I said, we've got fascists, we had communists before, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of interesting. But all I did was I humiliated Brunswick. That was the only thing I could do. So I reduced their prestige, which is why they're actually number 6 now, despite, having better economy than the United Kingdom, for example. But yeah, their prestige has been reduced quite significantly. But that's not the only thing that has happened. A lot of people, for various episodes, have called for a unification of Russia. Now, this is not going to happen today, but maybe the first step to it. And I've once again made a decision, a custom decision that, so we'll check that out. Let's actually check that out right there. We have the Consolidate the East decision. I think I can click it. You'll see that we gain a little bit of infamy, and all kinds of provinces will change hands. But let's read this out first. I think if I click it, is it going to be there still? I think it should be. There we go. Awesome. So, Consolidate the East. The Grand Duchies of Rostov and Novgorod have been staunch allies of the Roman emperors for centuries. As of late, several senators proposed to redraw the borders between our two eastern allies in order to increase the administrative efficiency and free government capacity for other issues. The initial proposal heavily favored the Grand Duke of Novgorod, but after various meetings an agreement could be reached. However, the Grand Duke of Rostov requires the territories of Genoa and Castal as recompensation for his concessions in the north. With approval of the Basileus, the Treaty of Yaroslavl will see the consolidation of the East by essentially ending the sovereignty of Genoa and Castal. So, I guess what I should have done, I should have probably shown you. Okay. I was thinking that the event was already in place, but I guess I have to click OK first. So, this is actually really good, because I should have shown you what the East looks like right now. So we have these provinces colonized by Rostov, but Novgorod has parts in Asia over here. So you see, this isn't exactly great. So also, this whole thing, like Novgorod, the southernmost province of Novgorod is over here, with the northernmost province of, Rostov is here. So it just overall looks really bad. And the two Russian states, they've been in part of our sphere for so long. So I decided that we're going to redraw their borders as a first step to the unification. And I think the line, for the most part, I've made the borders according to the area borders, right? You will see that once I click the event. But basically, as I said, it favored Novgorod heavily, and therefore I decided that we're also going to get rid of Genoa and Castal and basically give these provinces to Rostov instead. And that makes sense because, Castal, Genoa, they're not really helpful. Genoa especially, because they wouldn't even accept an alliance. They won't even accept military access. So whenever they have rebels, we cannot help defeat their rebels because we're not allowed to enter their territory. And therefore, they just break, they get out of our sphere, and we have to spend points and influence to get them back into our sphere because, I simply want to have them in my sphere. I don't want to have anyone here. I don't... Yeah, as I said, I just don't want anyone else having control over lands so close to our borders. And Castile, well, they're not as useless. They at least accept the lines, but... I mean, it's not like they have an army or anything. So, therefore, we're going to get rid of them. That should give us a little bit of infamy, 5. But I think that's fine. Alright, so let's click the event. And nothing happened. I'll go forward maybe 1 day. Although, it should have happened immediately. I think... Alright, yeah, nothing's happening. Alright, so I'm going to have to fix that. I'll be back in a second. So the event worked for the most part. We got the infamy, the cores were added, and so on and so forth. Just the provinces didn't change for some reason, so I had to do it manually. And I gotta say, it looks strange. It looks so clean. It looks weird. So yeah, we'll have a look. Yeah, that's it. That's how Novgorod and Rostov look right now. There you go. Very, very tidy border. Very, very clean border, I gotta say. Of course, Genoa and Castile are gone now. One province up here that was owned by Castile is now given to Novgorod as well, just because it looks better, obviously. With this, Novgorod has access to their Asian colonies, and yeah, I think this looks much better. Now, 2 things I did as well. Diastan had to give up 2 provinces here as well. Orenburg and Uralsk I gave to Rostov too, just because, also to make it look nicer. And I think I definitely achieved that. So, there we go. Wow, that is very clean. Very clean. Also, I like how, you know, the United Baltic Provinces and Novgorod kind of have the same I guess, length? I don't know how you say that, but like, they also end at the same, southern, I don't know how to, I don't know how you name these things. What are these, things called? Meridians? I have no clue. Alright, anyways, so that's what's been happening, and I guess we can now move forward to kind of see what happens. I also need to have a look at the populations now. So there's 5. Yada yada million in Rostov, and Novgorod should have more people now too. Alright, so Novgorod started off with 2.75 million people, and they have now 3 million people, whereas Rostov I think Rostov had like 5 million people about, and they now have 5 million as well. Now, their population is Russian, their primary culture is Russian, but they do accept Mongolians. So basically all they took control of here in the south were mostly Mongols. So that's actually good. All of these people are accepted within Rostov, which is good. And Novgorod up here, they took over a few Russian holdings, and then Ugrians, and the Ugrians are not accepted, neither in Novgorod nor in Rostov. But yeah, the Russians, they took over, they are accepted. So yeah, that's cool. So basically Novgorod grew stronger and Rostov didn't lose anything. But in the process, everything looks better. And that was kind of the plan. And this is, as I said, the first step towards unification. I'm not sure if we're ever going to have a unification between the 2 Russian states. I guess I would also like to know if you guys want to really see that. There is a possibility that Novgorod, you know, Novgorod is great power number 13. Rostov is great power number 16, or secondary power, I guess, 16. So if they both get together, they have some 8 million men. They could easily become a great power. I don't know if we really want that. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't want that, but let me know what you guys think about that. Now, of course, we've got rebels, but we've also just finished building our first tanks. Look at that. Our first armored divisions have been built. This is a new era. This is truly a new era. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to... Well, I mean, these rebels are not really that many, so I think I can quickly deal with them. Don't have to cut away for that. I think that should be possible. And then we'll have a proper look at our armor divisions, because that's really cool. You destroy them as well. And we also have, yeah, we've got 2 armor divisions here. Are we building more? Yeah, we're still building armor divisions. I will have them in Brescia first, I think. These 4, we'll send them all to Brescia, and that's where we get them together. Yep, you could fight more rebels, and the Spolumbers, you'll do that as well. The Spolumbers actually lost quite a few troops, so I have to rebuild, which is fine though. I think we should be easily capable of doing that. Jacobines, always very frustrating. And there is a pretty big uprising in Egypt as well. Alright, but overall, it's not as big as I expected. Now, we still have a few rebels that we need to deal with. Once you've done that, you can actually come back. Yeah, that's fine. Right, any more rebels? Nope, but you guys can combine. Actually, there are a few more rebels here, and you have to deal with a few rebels as well. But yeah, that's not really a big Jacobite uprising. The fascists are gaining more and more power. That's 7% now. Okay, socialists gain a little bit, and the liberals as well. So the socialists are now the second strongest faction within the Senate. That is worrisome. That is worrisome indeed. So the conservatives are now only the third strongest. The liberals still holding strong as number one, but I'm not sure if that's really good. National Banking Act is being passed in various various countries now. I've not had this before. And you know what? I think we will not reform the curricula. We once again have the, if we have a quick look at our population here, no, politics, we have the discriminatory school system, but that is giving us less research points, but more assimilation rate. And I think this is what we need, because a lot of our people, as I said, they're very pissed off because they're not the right culture. They're not an accepted culture. And therefore, assimilating them is probably good. Now you can see, yeah, the Greeks have really increased the, we've really increased the number of Greeks, the percentage. The Turks have always been at 5%, which is okay. The Italians have also always been at 25%, but the Greeks were at like 10%. They're now at 23%, so that's a huge increase, which I guess is really good. We can also check that out if we have a look at the nationalities in our own realm. So as you can see, all of this is majority is Greeks. Majority of Greeks in Africa now. We also obviously have still this small Greek enclave here, and then more and more Greeks in Italians in Hungary is still kind of going strong, but a lot of these other regions are replaced with Italians and Greeks. We even have Greeks becoming big, even the majority here in Italy. That is kind of funny actually. Yeah. Okay, and even Greeks here in the Normandy. So yeah, Greeks are certainly growing more and more powerful, replacing Kurds and so on and so forth. Anyways, we will keep that going because we want to assimilate more people if possible. Our economy is going strong, but that is also because we're not funding our economy. So there's a lot of people without work. That's just the way it is. There's the Temperance League again. With the ravages of alcohol taking a daily toll on our people, tearing away every day with newfound intensity at the moral and spiritual fabric of our national character, it becomes imperative for us to bond together in defense of public virtue and to educate and uplift the poor and downtrodden to the virtues of temperance. So for quite some time now, our country has been dealing with increases in the consumption of alcohol, readily available and cheap distilled spirits in combination with hard-working conditions make the poorer classes especially susceptible to this deadly poison. It comes as no surprise that an Imperial Temperance League has been formed. Now, if we go for this, the everyday needs for the poor strata is reduced, we gain prestige, and the efficiency goes up, but also we increase the militancy. But I feel like this is what we're going to do. We want to have a Temperance League. We'll ban alcoholism, we ban alcohol, or at least we'll limit it in a way, just because, yes, that will increase our militancy, but our militancy is rising anyways, so we might as well have productive rebels, right? There we go. And we want our people to, yeah, just work harder. That's fine. You can work harder, especially now that you're no longer drinking alcohol as much. That is fine by me. And wow, when did we reach 60 million people? That is insane, and it's growing quickly. Wow. And why are there Karaite forces here? Oh, and there's now Bavarian anarcho-liberals rising up in Germany. And, Gelre nationalists. Okay, we're definitely going to have to deal with them on our way to Emden to deal with some of the Jacobine rebels. We'll take them out too, I think. Yeah, that's nice. And we are getting our tank divisions. Yeah, very sweet. Oh my god, that's cool. This is our first, armored division. There's still a few more being built, which is totally fine. Now all we gotta do is build airplanes. Now, I've already checked this out. We actually need aeronautics in order to build planes. military aviation is the invention that we need. So I'm not sure why it showed earlier that we could potentially build planes. I don't know, but at least I know now when we can finally have planes. So that's fine. That's fine by me. We're currently still building an armor division here. Yeah, you will make your way over to Brescia. And then I'm not sure where I want to station our tanks, but probably close to the capital. I think Brescia might even be the best. And we're finding some more oil. That's good news. And we have just, yeah, finished the management strategy. Basically, I have been, improving our commerce. And I've improved the factory output efficiency. I should also probably go for this, because that overall makes our factories, well, just more efficient overall. We'll finish the organizational development, and then we'll start these various theories here, because, yeah, that helps our factories, as I said, and makes them just more profitable overall. Very good. So, yeah, France is demobilizing, which is nice. We definitely got to be careful no one kicks us out of our spheres. Very, very important. Let me quickly check that here, just because the AI is sneaky. Look at that. Yep, Rostov. Germany's being very sneaky. We're definitely going to ban the embassy right now, because this is one of the reasons I also restructured the East, is so that we now no longer have to influence Genoa and Castal, right? Because, you know, they're gone. And we still control these lands. The problem is, if we now lose Rostov, we obviously also lose control over, you know, various other provinces that we previously had control over. So it's to one degree it's making things easier for us, but also makes it difficult. If you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm not sure if Poland's going to be able to deal with these communists. I hope they are. In fact, I'll have the First Legion deal with it. I'll have the Polish being supported here a little bit. Although, you know, they should be able to do this on their own as well. I don't know about that. Yeah, also, I've been thinking about maybe giving Krakow to Poland, but this city has a population of 1 million. That is simply... that's insane. That's one of the biggest cities in the world right now. And it's currently under control of Rostov. It's not even a Rostovian core, but I don't see why I would just give that up. I mean, that's so incredibly important. And the other provinces here as well, you know, 276, this 65, but it has oil, 100,000 people. So I think it even has, yeah, it has more people than Augsburg. It might even be, Krakow might even be the biggest city in the world right now. Constantinopolis has only 500,000, and Roma has 300 million. Okay, what about Siena? Yeah, no other city is that big. I think Krakow might actually be the biggest city in the world right now. Really cool. Now, and also fresh, yeah, we'll curtail distribution. Yeah, there you go. And you're expelling advisors. That's fine by me. We'll control the clergy through legislative means. And, okay, our forces are coming back. Very good. We are building... what are we building? This Curacao. Yeah, you need to go here. You are part of the Spolumbus. I know that the Spolumbus are actually supposed to be different. But when I first built them, I built a bunch of cursors, and I had them lined up now. If they get destroyed once again, or if they lose forces once again, I will rebuild them differently with more guards and so on and so forth. But for now, I think just these horsemen are fine, because they do move faster, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, do we also have any other army? Yes, we do. You need to get together. And Razalets are going to be able to deal with it. Alright, but we... oh, right, we haven't dealt with our rebels yet. Well, duh. That's something we definitely have got to do. But that's the only rebel faction currently active. Okay, very good. Very good. No one's able to do anything here? Pomerania, maybe? A little bit scary? I think it's fine. For the most part, things are looking pretty good. Alright, so yeah, what are we going to call this? I guess it's our first armor division, right? Yeah, I just call it armor. So for now. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you have a better name. If so, please let me know. And there's a new war with the French. Let me quickly check out the diplomacy here. We've got the Aztec liberation of Arizona. The Blackfoot and Navajo fighting the French and the Aztec. Now, the French have just been at war with Ojibwe, and they have retaken Manitoba. So the French are growing much more powerful, and if I'm not mistaken, they've also included Ojibwe into their sphere of influence. Although I gotta check that. They have. So that is big. All right, now what we're gonna do now is we're probably gonna try and improve some relations with Liège. Yes, definitely. And the Inca, we're on pretty good terms. Brunswick still likes us, surprisingly. France, we can improve relations as well. And maybe we'll improve relations with Germany as well. I mean, sure, why not? Let's do that. Let's improve relations, because we don't really need to be at war right now. I think, wow, we're making some really good bank. And there's a colonial incident. Well, that's not good. We gain a place in the sun, Casus Belli, on the United Kingdom. Ooh, a colonial regiment in one of our colonies has had an encounter with a regiment from another colonial power, which had, according to a military report, crossed into our colonial claim on an obscure waterway a fair distance into the colony's hinterland. The report further goes on to state that this foreign regiment was, when encountered by our patrol, in the process of conducting a geological survey of the area, the object of which is, as of yet, unknown to us. Hawkish members of our war cabinet see this as a direct assault on the Roman Empire's territorial integrity and call for the execution of a plan they have termed quite simply Operation Imperial Fury. I do not believe that this is really worth going to war over, truth be told. I must admit, I don't think this is necessarily... we don't need to go to war. We don't need that war with the United Kingdom, to be quite honest. We don't need that war right now. So I will kind of hold back on that a little bit. Yeah, okay, so we've got to be careful. Pomerania might see Germany's influence rise quickly. Oh yeah, definitely gaining influence quickly. Alright, that's fine, but I think overall no one's really going to be able to do much. The Razalids still have rebels. That must be in their colonies, though. I think they're dealing with that at the moment. Alright, so I think at this point I will probably end the episode. So yeah, there's the first step to the unification of Russia. I think it does look much nicer. You guys let me know if you think that the Russian duchies, the Grand Duchy of Novgorod and the Grand Duchy of Rostov, should combine into one country. If so, what should be the name? Should it simply be Russia? And what should we do about the cultures? I mean, Rostov currently accepts Russian, obviously, and the Mongol culture, whereas Novgorod accepts the Russians as well, obviously, but also the Finns and the Swedes. So what does that mean? Should all of these cultures be accepted in the new Russia, if there is to be a new Russia? Simply let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Might not happen in the next episode, but maybe a little bit later. And on that point, as I said, I will end the episode. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.